Slowly but surely, we are getting through this course. Alright, and today's video is on the Great Depression. And the Great Depression was, I think it was around 1929. Largely linked with the Wall Street crash, of course. And that is what we're going to be covering today. I mean, the response to my videos has been, mystery videos particularly, has been great. And everyone who's commenting and saying nice things is amazing, and thank you very much. And let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the Wall Street crash. Now, I put the title as the Wall Street crash, but I go on to talk about other things. Now, the Wall Street crash was a big economic collapse, essentially. And if you don't know what Wall Street is, it's just the street in New York that the stock exchange is based on. And basically, the share prices just plummeted, and people couldn't pay back loans they took from the bank, because when they bought shares, they bought them on the margin, as I mentioned in an earlier video. And that meant that they paid 10% and take 90% from the bank in a loan. But obviously, if they're putting the money in the shares and then the share prices plummet, they lose a load of money, they can't pay the banks back. So they really struggled there. So they couldn't pay back the loans, as I wrote down, and the banks went bankrupt, and that was a huge problem. They had the bank holidays and everything, and it was not great. Obviously, the cycle of depression, that contributed towards the depression, obviously, because when more people become unemployed, those people have less money to spend. So if they have less money to spend in businesses, firms, and those firms are going to employ less people. If they employ less people, they have less money, and it goes around and around and around. It's a vicious circle. Obviously, you got the cycle of prosperity as well. So, as I said, it's a lot of confidence in the economy. That's a big thing. Underlying problems for the USA were just agricultural things, iron industries, coal, things like that were just struggling. And yeah, they weren't great. Basically, it just wasn't great times. They'd had the Roaring '20s, and they're about to go into much worse times. But the what was I going to say? Speculators. The speculators were the people who bought the shares, so that's why it's called speculating, because they don't know if the share prices are going to go up for sure. I mean, on the whole, in the 20s they did, but they couldn't be 100% sure, and it was a form of gambling. It still is, buying shares. But it's a bit better than gambling, but there you go. Misdistribution of wealth. Basically, there was a massive inequality in the wealth in the country. 40% of the population were in poverty. When you think about the USA, such a developed country, 40% of them in poverty, that's shocking. Alright, now we're going to talk about tariffs. And tariffs are a sort of a tax placed on goods, and usually foreign goods in this case. And it is it's a form of protectionism. So protectionism in economics is like the protection of an industry or a company that's usually within your country, and it's illegal in a lot of places, but due to the WTO. But basically, the 1930 Hawley-Smoot tariff put a tariff on foreign goods. So the idea was that you'd be more inclined, say there was a car. So you got a car from Japan and a USA car, and the exact same car. The USA car will cost $10,000. This is probably a bit more today's money, and the Japan car will cost $15,000 because of the tariff. And that's obviously you buy the American car, trying to protect American industries, but it didn't work because all the other countries retaliated. So then the US exports just plummeted as well, and it had a massive negative effect instead of a positive effect. So that was like a big economic mess up, basically. Now we're going to talk about government. There's barely had a breather in this video. The two governments that we see had like polar opposite views on how to deal with the Depression. President Hoover basically blamed Europe, and because there was a bit of an economic crisis in Europe, not too dissimilar to what we're seeing now. I mean, there's great parallels, and he blamed that. But the main thing, his idea was rugged individualism, and rugged individualism is, if you want to get to the top, if you want to earn money, if you want to succeed in this country, you have to work for it, and you have to do it for yourself. And that's not a good view to take when you're in economic crisis. And Roosevelt realised that, and he came in and he was like, no, we need to put money into the economy. And you could say he sort of succeeded. He did a better job. But anyway, that's the end of this history video. And if you need more help, as usual, go shoemercerrevision.wordpress.com. There's some annotations on the screen with other videos, history videos you can watch. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter at @Stu_Mercer, that'd be cool as well. You can tweet me there if you need any more help or requesting a video. If you enjoyed this, well, you wouldn't enjoy it, but if you thought this was helpful, leave a like, and I will see you guys later.